Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
And welcome back to Jen
I'm
Hannigan's.
putting on some socks.
She's Jen, I'm Hannah. We are two best friends that have been doing this healthy living thing for 2.5 years now.
2.5 years.
So, we could have waited to record
Till my socks were on.
until your socks were on.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, I'm ready.
Okay. So, we were thinking about 5 things that we learned the hard way.
The hard way.
Or things we wish we would have known before, but
We had to learn the hard way.
we learned it the hard way.
Hold on.
Do you want me to restart?
No, we're good.
Are you sure?
I'm good. I'm ready now.
Are you?
5 things that we learned the hard way. We like doing things in increments of 5.
She likes doing things in increments of 5.
I like lists. I like really easy things to understand and 1, 2, 3, ABC.
And they're fun.
Yeah.
It's a good thing to think about. So, let's just start.
Yeah. Go.
Number 1 was the first thing I said, and that is maintaining a weight loss is as much.
We just got home, okay? Go ahead.
Maintaining a weight loss is as much, if not more, of a win as losing.
Yes, because sometimes it can be so depressing when you're plateaued, but if you can maintain for a while, everyone says maintenance is the hardest thing.
Everyone who has lost a significant amount of weight says that the hardest thing for them to do is to switch from weight loss mode to maintenance mode.
Mm-hmm. So if you can maintain even though it might be frustrating, it might be a plateau, but if you can maintain that, that's actually a really good sign.
The only way
plateaus are frustrating, but
the only loss is when you start gaining weight and give up.
Yep.
That's the only way to lose.
Yep.
Is when you give up.
Well, that's the only way to gain is...
I mean, you can gain when you're still trying.
You said that's the only way to lose?
Okay, whatever. Ugh. It's late. You get what you get at whatever time it is. What time is it?
10 o'clock. We're old ladies. 10 o'clock is late.
Okay. Number 2.
Number 2.
Bad meals don't have to equal
bad days.
And bad days don't have to equal bad weeks.
So sometimes you'll start out the day and you'll be doing great. And then you get to lunchtime. Man, I can't stand being able to see myself. And then you get to lunchtime and you eat like a ton of things that maybe aren't the best for you. Mm-hmm. And so you're like, well, I may as well just give up on this day. And so you have a ton of snacks and then you have a terrible supper. And then by the next day you feel horrible. And maybe the next day you're going to do the same thing all over again.
And the most common way that this happens sometimes for you, I think, and definitely for me, isn't necessarily having a bad meal. We're not labeling food as bad.
Yeah,
some foods are bad for you, but that's not what we're
talking
talking about. We're talking about when you have a high point or high calorie or whatever, you feel like you've gotten off track. For me, it's if I'm snacking on a bunch of the kid food and then I just eat the kid food. And then I'm like, well, I don't know how much I've ate, so I'm not even going to bother tracking it. And, well, I already know I ate too much, so it doesn't matter what else I eat.
For me, it's when I'm tired.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm tired, I just don't care. I'm like, well, I'm just going to eat whatever, and then the next day I'll just eat whatever.
And it just continues. That doesn't have to happen.
So,
if you get off track, if you...
don't wait till the next day. Don't wait till the next week. Start the next meal.
Start
just
right then. If you've just had that, grab yourself a cup of water.
Yep.
And then start over
logically,
from there.
That makes sense because you're still consuming less calories than you would if you just blew the whole day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like even though you consumed more calories than what maybe you should have at lunchtime, then, I mean, still, you're still doing well if you can move on to the next meal and do okay because you're still consuming less calories than you would have otherwise.
Yeah. Don't let yourself
just
start
don't blow the whole thing
that and then just go. Whoop.
Yeah.
You can,
and it's really easy to get into that habit too.
Yeah.
Like, don't make that a habit. So.
Like
we learned that the hard way.
Like my little sound effects there. You want to talk about that one? The scale.
Number 3. So when you start doing the thing that we just said, like skip making those meals that, whatever.
And then the day and then the week. And
then you might do a little thing like avoiding the scale.
Yeah.
And we learned that even on the bad days, even on the hard days, don't avoid the scale.
Yeah.
Like, I understand. We've done this before where we've, like, eaten Mexican one night and decided we're going to weigh in on Saturday because Friday may not be that. That's, okay, whatever. But when you start avoiding the scale for, like, days and weeks and months. And if you're one of those people that does better without the scale, kudos to you. That's awesome. I'm not that way. If I go without the scale, then I'm going to, I want to know. Like, I want to know where I'm at.
The scale is not the only measure of success. It
No,
is not
of course
even
not.
the major or the biggest measure of success.
But it is.
But
important.
it is a factor. And for some reason, weight is that number that we go to.
Mm-hmm.
And if you just like, I don't want to know what the scale says because I know it's been a hard day or a hard week. I've been emotional eating or whatever. That's not going to change the number on the scale.
Nope. So 3 weeks from now, you're going to realize, oh my goodness, I've gained 10 pounds. And if your scale goes up, it's better for you to handle it. I've said this in another video that you guys are going to see later. A little surprise that we have.
Or see before this.
Oh, maybe. Yeah. Maybe you've already seen it. I don't know.
If you haven't, check it out.
Here, this is what I'm going to say. But if you, it's better for you to manage those 3 pounds that you may have gained over a weekend or whatever than it is to try to manage 15 or 20 pounds 3 weeks, 4 weeks from now.
And this is from
if you don't think you
experience.
can gain 15 or 20 pounds in 3 to 4 weeks,
You can.
you can.
This is seriously from experience.
Yeah.
So because the beginning of 2020, before the whole world lost its mind, we both had family members having surgery and in the hospital, and avoiding the scale wasn't going to change the emotional eating or anything that we did.
Yeah.
And for me, there are times when, okay, if it's that time of month, I'm not getting on the scale. But situations like that, it just gives me a touch point of where I'm at. And okay, it's okay. And sometimes you haven't gained as much weight as you thought you did.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes it's like, okay, that wasn't as bad as I thought. I can go on. But
well, and
anyway.
I have to sometimes I pray. Sometimes I'm like, Lord, prepare me mentally for this. Because if you're not careful, then it can completely ruin your mood and your attitude if you see that you've gained. But I'm telling you, that's really not any better than it's going to feel in a few weeks when you've gained 10 pounds. So
it's not.
Anyway,
so,
that's one thing we've learned the hard way is
don't avoid the
scale.
This is what this applies in so many areas of your life, not just weight loss, but not everyone is going to be happy for you.
Okay, and this can come from a lot of different ways. Like we're very careful to not speak negatively. We don't want to be negative about anybody.
We don't.
But it happens sometimes that people are like, people in your life may have always expected you to be fat forever.
Yeah.
And if you're not fat forever, and if you're not unhealthy forever, they might not like it for a couple different reasons.
There are people that you being unhealthy or being fat or whatever it is,
or unhappy because you were unhealthy.
Yes, it made them feel better because you were bigger than them, or you were more unhealthy than them, or you
were less active than them.
Yeah, and that made them feel better about themselves. There are those people. I don't understand. I'm sorry for it. I don't want to. I'm not calling anyone out.
I'm just going to insert here that Hannah and I have a really good friendship because both of us are very secure in who we are. Like, Hannah is a single woman, lucky person who lives an amazing life on her own with, I mean, she lives the life, guys. Like, she really has it, like, all together. And then me, on the other hand, I got kids, and husband, and all that stuff. We could easily be jealous of each other. Like, we could. Well,
there was a time when I would have been like, I really wanted.
We could never have been friends back then. And
I had to get to a place where I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah, we're just not those people.
Am.
We want to be happy with you. Like, we want to like celebrate you. We want to like, go go. And that's just who we are. That's why we get along so well.
But there are some people that are not going to be happy for you, and that's okay. They don't have to be happy for you.
Let me say another reason why that is. Okay, there's because they're not feeling like they're doing enough. Maybe you're making them feel a little guilty because they want to do what you're doing and they're not doing it. Or it may be a situation of this which we have seen in our lives where we have dressed a different way.
Yeah.
We believe in modest dressing. And so we've never been like immodest with what we've worn. But I think that as your body changes, your style changes. Like there's certain things you can wear that you weren't able to wear before.
Crops,
for me,
sweaters with
something underneath.
Something underneath always.
But for me, I had a paniculectomy, and so my stomach was a little flatter in some of those areas where I was more insecure before. And so I'm able to wear different things. And so I feel like when people see your style change, changed. Like maybe they think that you're changing. Maybe they don't know you well enough to know otherwise. So there's a lot of, I think there's a lot of different
There's a
reasons
lot
why,
of judgment.
Why, yeah, there is. And there's a lot of people like watching you, like waiting for you to fail. I mean, I don't want to be a negative Nancy, but I'm telling you, there's probably somebody in your life who's watching and being like, oh, they're going to mess up.
And here's the thing about that. I didn't tell anybody I was losing weight. I didn't tell anybody I was trying to lose weight for a long time because those people terrified me. And I didn't want people watching me. And I didn't want people judging me. And I was so worried about what everyone else thought. And who cares?
Yeah. I mean,
them being unhappy doesn't change me. And so live your life. Not everyone's going to be happy for you. And that's okay. You be happy for you.
Just see that toxic person walking the other way.
Yeah. And love them anyway.
Mm-hmm. That's right. You
Something's
can love from a distance, by the way.
Yeah. Yes, you can.
That was number 4.
Yeah. So number 5. And this is a hard one. It took me a while to figure out how I want to say this. And I'm still not sure if this is how I want to say it. But there is a difference between giving yourself grace and making excuses for yourself. I am a huge one. I've said it several times on this channel. I think at least 1 or 2 of the 5 things, something or other, I've said, give yourself grace. It is okay if you mess up. It's okay if you have a bad day.
Be kind
Love
to yourself.
yourself. Give yourself grace. There is a difference between doing that and making excuses. Giving yourself grace is maybe you've had it. I keep saying it because it's the most common for me. You had a day where you were emotionally eating and you were emotionally eating all of the things and you felt like junk afterwards. Giving yourself grace is acknowledging the reason that happened and that it was okay that it happened and then not letting it happen again.
Yeah.
And understanding that this happened for this reason, so I'm going to work to change that. Making excuses is saying, well, I had to eat all the chips because I was craving something salty, and I was craving something salty because I was in a really bad place, and I'm still in that bad place, so I'm going to go get more chips. And I'm going to eat, and since I ate the chips, I'm also going to eat the dozen cookies, and that's making excuses. Giving yourself grace is saying, I hurt my ankle, so I'm not going to run today. Making excuses is, oh, my toe kind of hurts, so I'm not going to walk.
Yeah, see, there's a difference. And I think that is meshed so much. I think that we are living in a world, I've said it before, that people say, give yourself grace, and they don't know the line between grace and making excuses. Yeah. But see, also, with giving yourself grace, it is being kind to yourself. Being kind to yourself means you're going to eat good food. Mm-hmm. You're going to take care of your body. You're going to let yourself have the opportunity and privilege to work out.
You're going to set yourself up for success, not for failure.
Being kind to your body is like doing all of the things that are good to it. So you can't show grace to yourself and be unkind to your body at the same time, which is exactly what people are doing. They're like, I'm just showing myself grace, while on the same hand, I'm being completely unkind to your body. Eating terrible foods for you, not working out, not sleeping right, all of that stuff is being unkind to your body.
Having one bad day is having a bad day. And that's a situation where you give yourself grace. Having a bad day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, that's a habit, and you need to break it.
Yeah. So.
Sorry, it's after 10, so you get a little bit of tough love.
We got a little attitude.
The hair looks good today, so I'm like on a whole nother level.
One of us does. Oh, man. All right.
It won't look good tomorrow. I think that's it.
That's it. Those are the 5 things, or 5 of the things we've learned the hard way. We have to learn things the hard way sometimes, I guess.
Yeah, and we're trying not to do that anymore. So don't. If you're starting this, learn from us. Listen to us.
You don't want to have to go through these things.
Don't. It's a lot of heartache to learn some of those lessons.
Yeah.
Anyway, welcome if you're new. Yes. Like this video. Subscribe if you haven't. Share this with someone that is starting a journey or is in the middle, or that you think will relate to one of those things. Seriously, my favorite was the first, my big one was maintaining is as much a win as losing.
Yeah.
But probably the most relatable one is not everyone is going to be happy for you.
Yeah, that's the hardest one to learn because it hurts.
And you learn it in so many areas of your life.
Yes, you do. But anyway, that's
it. We love you.
Thanks for watching.
Now she's going to make me work out. So if you don't see me again, that's because she killed me with Grow with Joe.
Grow with Joe. Go
Okay.
to it. All right, bye, guys.
Bye.
Thanks for watching.